I got a lot of great achievements. I got a lot of plans and goals. I also need the fans to be supportive. But, I'm just so used to doing things by myself. I don't know what it's like to have teamwork. I don't know what it's like to have hired help. 90% of all the stuff I've experienced, I've done in real life. I never known what it was like to be like other people, So I'm never going to talk about that stuff because it's just not something I've known and grown up with. I've never been afraid to come out and look rough and rugged, and never afraid to get over my negative past. Who gives a crap? It's all done and over with. But it seems like I'm not the only one suffering from these problems, but I don't want to give advice anymore because it's just not my thing. I spent my whole life doing as best as I can and giving people chances and always keeping my doors open for people to come back. Just because I move away, well, it's a two-way street, Just because I don't get people's numbers, people could say, well, why didn't you get his number? You were all about dissing him or liking him. Why didn't you get his number? At least it was somebody to talk to. You couldn't do that little stuff. Why don't you, You wouldn't like me to rap about that stuff and put that in a song and start dissing people because they don't want to have dozens of friends. They say they want to, but you have dozens of friends online. You got no problems doing that stuff. But when it comes to real life and meeting somebody such as myself, just because I don't meet the standards or the requirements that everybody else has, all of a sudden you want to disown me and treat me like crap. Well, go ahead, go away. But if I get invested in doing stuff and being a part of something that's greater than my own purpose, don't step in my way when I let you go. You got to show me love as much as I've shown you love in life. But since those people aren't there, all I got is to meet new people. And I'm not really into meeting new people anymore. I give in that door, I close that doorway. I want to learn other stuff. I want to experience other stuff. And I leave it up to God's hands, because if it's the devil's world, the devil just does nothing but make me suffer and take away things and ruin things in my life just to have a laugh, just to disown me and disown everything else. Well, it's none of my business what happens between the God and the devil or humanity. So you lose your leverage. It's none of my business. You can't have me on your side. People don't even want me on their side. That's with God's side of people or the devil's side of people. Neither side is doing anything any good or bad with each other anyway. So I don't need to be a part of that. I'd rather just shut up and do skits and do music and just mosey around my life till I get better. I'm tired of fighting to fix my life when what's wrong with what it is as it is. Who gives a crap that I don't have things that other people have? Maybe I'm just more appreciative that when I do get stuff that other people have, I'm going to try to make it last longer. I'm going to get a car and push it to being 10 years old, or get a moped since I don't have a license. Who cares? People get driven around all the time. People have dozens of problems. People have money problems. People have home problems. But you don't see me running around here asking people for money. I just go without stuff. You don't see me running around here asking for donations on my platform or the internet like people are doing on Facebook. And when somebody dies, they ask for money to pay for flowers or pay for funerals and all this other stuff. I don't ask for any of that stuff. I don't disregard and make fun of people and laugh at people because the people are suicidal. I don't laugh at people because they're ugly. I just don't care about all that stuff, man. That stuff is cheesy and boring conversation. I just haven't found my niche in life yet. And when you don't know what you're searching for, you don't know, you can't lose, because nothing that I lost in life wasn't ever fighting to be on my side. So how did I lose? That means I never lost. That means all the people that did shady stuff behind my back, it only affected them. It doesn't affect me. People trying to make me jealous because they're interested in somebody else, well, that doesn't That's got nothing to do with me. That makes your case even worse. That just speaks that you don't know how to treat a relationship. That goes for anybody I'd meet if they want to pull stuff like that. You're just doing bad stuff, and that just doesn't make a bit of difference. That doesn't faze me one bit. You gotta understand, I'm pushing myself so hard, but it doesn't seem like I can get past all this stuff because I had to get it out here in the open. I had to talk about my experiences, you know? If I talk to a therapist, they're not gonna really, can't really change my past, but I can prevent it from happening here in the present, in the future. It's getting kind of old that people are well aware of the events and the things they experience and go to in programs or clubs or bars or restaurants. You know, people just don't walk up to people and make conversation. Now, me, I used to do that to people that I meet everywhere I go. I would go to the parks at apartment places, or I'd say hi and make conversation with people at the pool whenever I was at the pool. I never cared about getting in relationships, man. You gotta start off easy in life. You can't just wing all these girls when they don't care. All they care about is rich people. You can't just walk up and tell public that and just blast people out here and call them bitches and hoes and all this crazy stuff out here in the public. You gotta have some respect about you. You can't pull that shady crap that people pull when they're alone or in their homes out here in the public. You can't just walk around, and just because we think girls are hot doesn't mean, they haven't heard that before. They always hear that. People always think that, but guys never hear that. I never hear that. I don't have people running around dropping lines on me and overdoing things to show me attention or affection. I don't have any of that crap. None of that stuff matters to me, because I never get to experience it. How can I know what love is if love was never willing to give me a try? I was always giving love out. Something Kevin Gates says that he had problems with too. He always gives out love but never receives it. And people always say, well, you got to respect that. Well, actually, no, I don't have to, because life is a two-way street, And I can live on with my actions to live on if Jesus comes back and takes us all up, like people are predicting and talking about. Well, oh well then. Then I can live with treating people positively as best as I can, to the best of my abilities. I lived out life as best of my abilities. I'm not going to sit about and wonder, coulda, woulda, shouldas, and how come and whys, and I just don't have time for all that stuff. I'm sorry for the generation that does that stuff. Maybe people are liking people, There's a lot of people I liked in life and thought were great people and great as friends and great as relationships and all kinds of stuff. I think a lot of people are cool. But that just doesn't always what happens, People get sidetracked. People have problems. Bad things happen or accidents happen. Sometimes they move away and get a new job, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about all this other stuff, all this other shady material that people have treated me in the past. I don't even know if it makes me feel better if I get it off of my chest. Sometimes I just putting this down on my journal that, this is some of the stuff I went through in life. I haven't explained every story because it's none of people's business. I'm not out here trying to get people in trouble. But, if I have to live with these consequences in life, so does everybody else. It's the same thing our family teaches us, that, we got to build lives around our family and friends. We got to have lives. We can't be held our hand and always be lovey-dovey. Sometimes we got to put our foot down and say, well, I'm just not feeling this way of living. I'm just not feeling killing people and destroying each other's lives. I'm just not into that stuff. You got to go somewhere else. And if they don't leave, then I'm going to walk out and leave and just adios. I don't care. Even if I'm in the bar and dozens of people are surrounding me, I'm just going to walk out and not give a crap. I could care less what people think about me. You can think I'm bullshit or an asshole or a jerk or the P word and all kinds of things, but guess what? No matter what you say, it just doesn't faze me or doesn't make my personality, and it doesn't make who I am. No matter what I've went through in life, none of it makes who I am. None of it come close to what I'm looking for in life. So sorry, that's just how life crumbles.